Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking some time here to talk about our winter plan. I think, as we all know, after last winter, it was clear that we needed to have a better plan in place, and one that was clear, direct, and transparent, communicative with the public. So we all know, while it's actually fairly nice out here this morning, it's going to be winter very soon here. So our winter planning effort really, while we're here to talk about it today, really didn't begin today. It's been in the works for several months now. Colonel Ben Johnson, who has taken over as Director of Operations for the City of St. Louis, will go over our plan in detail. He's led the effort on this in collaboration, coordination, and with the leadership of our Streets Department here. And I'll let him go into detail, but broadly speaking, our winter planning effort includes these 4 beautiful new trucks behind me that have both plows and salt distribution associated with them. Is this okay, Jason? So we've got these 4 new beautiful trucks behind us that are going to be able to kind of get us down some of the smaller side streets. We've got an overcall of our on-call system to activate snow removal crews, and we've also got a pay increase, an incentive program to get our drivers out and really activated. We've also increased our salt capacity. And so we're doing several things on several fronts to really make sure that we are really compensating those folks well who do the hard work of actually doing the snow and ice removal during some really, really difficult circumstances. We're really putting forward a plan, and we are committing to communicating with you all as we move forward, as the winter months are upon us, what we're actually going to be doing. Delivering high quality services is a priority for this administration, for me as mayor, and for our crews. I think it's been very clear that our street department has been an active partner in this under interim director Kent Flake, and all of our city staff are really activated and really committed to delivering safer, clearer streets for our community this winter. Did you have a...
Oh, sorry. This is just having some problems.
Oh, look at that. It works for a short period. It's going to fall again, isn't it? So again, Colonel Ben Johnson, our Chief Operating Officer, I'd like to turn it over to him. He's done an excellent job really leading this effort, and he can go into greater details about the plan.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Mayor Spencer, also for being directly involved in the planning effort. My direction from Mayor Spencer coming in to this position has been to bring improved structure, improved tech, improved transparency as we work in enhancing our city services across the board. And that certainly includes effective snow operations this winter. So with planning, we are going into this winter season prepared. And I'll just say I relied on my military planning background. That's really the lens that I approach this work with, working closely with our interim director of streets, Kent Flake, and his team and others to really harness the lessons from last January and bake those into our plan and our updates going forward for this season. So we're now communicating that plan with our hardworking crews and with the public, as we're doing here today, so that we are all prepared. So we're going to open this up to questions in just a few minutes, and Kent will be here as well to help answer questions. But before we do that, I do want to go over the broad overview, the broad contours of this plan. So as the mayor mentioned, we have these 4 new 1-ton trucks behind us. They give us additional capacity, adding to our approximately 60 vehicles that are part of our snow removal operations. We have also replaced 4 of those larger trucks with newer models to include new snow plows on those, as well as new salt packages. We are stocking up on the salt supply. A typical winter requires 6,000 to 7,000 tons of salt. We are doubling that capacity based on some lessons learned from the heavy storm last January. All of our CDL licensed drivers from across city departments are being considered for snow call duty. And we will have 2 rotating 12-hour crews of 40 personnel each. So we're building up that list right now to be effective and be on call starting mid-month of November, the 15th of November. As the mayor mentioned, we're working to double that on-call pay, which is just the incentive pay they will get for just being on that on-call list. We've also partnered more deliberately and specifically with the National Weather Service. We have a meteorologist here in St. Louis that's dedicated, and will be a great addition, a great tool for us as a 24/7 additional meteorologist from the National Weather Service. And then 48 to 24 hours out, we will have our winter weather plan activation and communicate that with the public. We'll maintain that active communication with residents through our city social media with our news network partners here. And then there'll be a link on our main city webpage that we'll use as our centralized communication node to keep all of our updates current and posted throughout the snowfall. 12 hours prior to the snow event is when our pre-treatment happens. That remains a critical part of our snow plan, and that will go on all of our snow routes. Speaking of our snow routes, just as a reminder, this is not a change, but just to be clear about how we define these. We have three types of snow routes. We have our arterial routes, which are our main thoroughfares, essential for citywide traffic. We have secondary routes that are our major connecting roads. And then we have our hill routes. They're defined with a grade of 8 degrees. And then we work on those routes once the arterial and secondary routes are completed. Those are all snow routes. One key lesson that I'm guessing we'll hear about in the Q&A here is about side streets. Now, one of the key lessons learned from last January's was what we refer to as windrows, which is where the snow piles stack up at the intersection of some of those arterial and secondary routes. And so we have a specific strategy designed to actually go sweep through those and clear those out so that the cars can exit from the side streets onto our snow routes from your neighborhoods. Importantly, we'll have a contingency contract in place so that if we do exceed our impressive capacities that we have here as a city, that we can activate that for additional support to clear those snow routes and additional requirements. And then this year we're also going to pilot a salt bank on a limited scale, cooperating with our Board of Aldermen to work with some community groups to access some of that salt for specific areas, and that'll be located here. And then we also added to our snow route planning some of the additional roads around our schools, and that includes our public schools as well as our charter and private schools. So those are all some of the key updates in the broad contours of the plan.